Welterweight bout. Sean Brady coming in at -140 against Kelvin Gastelum, sitting at +110. Over under 1.5 rounds, -200 for the over, +165 for the under. Sean Brady coming back after a year off since his first career loss. Kelvin Gastelum coming back since his first win in a very long time against Chris Curtis back at UFC 287. That was a controversial one, but making the move down to 170 finally. We've been saying it for how long? This guy should be a 170er. He's been fighting at middleweight for a long time. He's always been undersized. And I think at 170, he should find a good home there. It really just comes down to, is the work ethic going to be there? Is he going to be able to make weight? Is he going to be, ready to go at 170? Because stripping down 15 pounds is not an easy thing to do. But I do think 170 should fit him well if he does go in there well prepared. And then Sean Brady, like I said, coming back after his first loss to Bilal Muhammad. That was one in Abu Dhabi. I don't think that suited him well, apparently. Making that long trip across the seas, fighting in a different place than you're used to. And I think the moment probably got to him and he takes the loss there. But it's to Bilal Muhammad. I mean, Bilal Muhammad should probably get the next title shot. I don't know if he will, but he's up there with the best in the world. So, I mean, you can't knock him too much for that. And he's had a couple bouts that got canceled in this year. So it's not like it was a planned thing to take a year off. A couple of canceled bouts to Michelle Pereira and Jack Della Maddalena. So stepping in here against Kelvin Gastelum, it's a good fight. And a spot where two guys could, go different ways. If Brady takes a loss, that's 2 in a row. If Kelvin Gastelum takes a loss after moving a division, it's like, where do you go from here? So it's an interesting fight. Who you got?
Yeah, very important fight too. I just got questions on both sides. Like Brady, layoff, injuries. So you just never know how he looks coming back. And Kelvin Gastelum, like we've all heard the rumors in the past, the dude, has problems wanting to stay in shape or taking it seriously, taking his diet seriously and all that, and training, when he's not in fight camp. So now to be cutting down to 170, like if that's a rough cut, I don't think Sean Brady's the guy you want to fight because Brady's going to be in your grill looking to take you down, and it's an exhausting pace that Brady can put on guys. So, if Kelvin has a bad weight cut, doesn't look good at 170, doesn't look good on the scales, and Sean Brady can have some success with the takedowns and grappling, I think Brady can walk away with this. But at the same time, I look at who Sean Brady has fought, and outside of Bilal Muhammad, he's beat Michael Chiesa, Jake Matthews, and then some guys that Court McGee, and then some guys that people probably never heard of. And this is going to be, if he beats Kelvin, this is going to be his biggest and best win, by far. I don't put too much stock into Michael Chiesa. I've never been a big fan. I think these last 4 years or so, he hasn't been the same guy. So, if he comes out here and beats Kelvin, he's, it's a damn good feather in your cap. And for Kelvin, the name of the game for him is going to be keep this thing on the feet. I think he is going to be the better striker. And for only being 32 or 33 years old for Kelvin, he's got so much experience against the absolute best guys in the world at 185. Israel Adesanya fight was a war that went all 5 rounds. Had Izzy hurt, cracked him, rearranged his face. I mean, both guys were messed up. And then, he's fought the Jared Cannoniers and Robert Whitaker where he fell short to both of those guys. But those guys are damn good strikers, and they have more of an element than just their grappling. And, if Sean Brady comes out here and looks well improved in the striking department and hangs with Kelvin on the feet, then, yeah, I do think it is a close fight. But overall, I see the damage and the striking advantage going to Kelvin here. And to the judges, might just look a little bit better than all the grappling and control time. Yeah, I got to lean Kelvin Gastelum. I'm a Sean Brady fan, though. I hope he bounces back. I think it will be a good fight. And the one thing on Brady's side, too, is, Kelvin's been submitted before. Brady's very capable of finding the submissions. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's very strong. Yeah, Kelvin drop it down to 170. It's going to be pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, it's a really tough one because you're getting a clash of styles, too. I mean, Brady is known for the grappling. He doesn't really land that many strikes when he gets you down. He did his first fight, he landed 119, but since then, I mean, he's been sub 50 in almost all of them. The fight with Bilal, we were probably expecting more wrestling Sean Brady shot 5 times, didn't get a single one. Bilal Muhammad has great takedown defense. And we saw in that fight, like, the stand-up can use some improvements. Kelvin Gastelum in this one, I think it needs to expose that, and it needs to expose it early, because if Sean Brady can get in on you early, get you down and get into a rhythm there, get some confidence back, because that's another thing. When he's coming off his first career loss, if he goes in there, starts getting touched up, maybe those doubts start to leak into his mind. Be like, oh God, here we go again. But if Brady can go in there, get some takedowns early, or maybe just get started on the feet early, I think he could take over. Brady will be the pick for me. I do think he goes in there and is able to clinch him up early and have his type of fight early, and I think that'll carry over into the later rounds. Brady will be the pick for me. But it's a weird one, because you don't really know a lot about either guy at this point. Like, you don't know how Gaslam's going to look at 170. You don't know how Brady looks at this level of competition. I mean, we saw him against Bilal, but the win over Chiesa is like, Chiesa's definitely past the prime. Bilal is top tier. So at this range, it's like you don't know where to put him. You don't know where to put him yet. So it's a weird one, but Brady will be the pick for me.